Fantastic Four is dark and at moments really intense, but it's also a lot of wasted potential and it's sometimes really ugly to look at. But let's start with the beginning, and I have to say for the first third of the movie I was really into it. We start in the past and we get to know half of the team as children. Reed Richards is this little nerdy kid that loves to invent stuff, and he finds himself a best friend in Ben Grimm, whose family happens to own a junkyard. And it seems that all you need to build a dimension-traveling teleporting device is the genius of a child and the mighty power of combined Nintendo 64 consoles. Director Josh Trank spends the first third of the movie with introducing his characters. This is another origin story, but somehow for me it really clicked, and that's mainly due to the strong performance of our lead guy. Miles Teller, who did an amazing job in last year's Whiplash, plays the now adolescent and still very nerdy Reed Richards. He's just so likable, and his socially a little awkward but very honest and free-spirited manners contributes to many funny moments. Especially when he's with Kate Mara, who plays Susan Storm. Michael B. Jordan, her brother Johnny Storm, does well as the cooler, tougher, head-through-the-wall kind of guy. Jamie Bell is also great as the shy and reliable fourth member of the team, Ben Grimm. Another important character is Susan's and Johnny's father, Dr. Franklin Storm, played by Reggie Cathey. He becomes the father figure for the whole team, and the movie makes it clear on more than one occasion that its main themes are about family and teamwork. In an early scene, a scientist said to him, "You put a lot of faith in these guys," whereupon he replied, "I put all my faith in them." And this statement is something you can apply somewhat to the whole movie, because it heavily relies on these new young actors and was even bashed for beforehand. People thought they were too young and childlike looking, even though Jessica Alba and Chris Evans were even younger in the 2005 movie. Yeah, but I guess that one isn't the best reference. Last but not least, Toby Kebbell plays the fifth scientist and later villain of the movie, Victor Van Doom. Yeah, I wished I had a name like that. Also, we see Tim Blake Nelson as the evil and ever-chewing bubblegum guy, Dr. Allen. So all the cast is working great together. What went wrong? Well, the moment where the movie cracks for the first time is when our team completed its project of building a working teleporter. They beam into another dimension and then they land in Surgery Island. Yeah, it really doesn't look good. This should be the moment where our heroes and we as the audience should be baffled with excitement and fascination, strange new worlds where no man has gone before. But it all looks so generic and fake and a little bit trashy also. So after a great first third that shows us some nice character interaction, the feeling of the unknown, the themes of exploration and adventure, yeah, just didn't work for me. What worked a little bit better were the really intense scenes that followed. Our heroes are transformed and bodies altered. Fantastic Four almost dives into the realms of horror at this point, and you can like this or not, but at least it was something different, and it reminds me a little bit of the body horror movies of David Cronenberg. It doesn't come close to the haptic feeling of Cronenberg's brilliant practical effects, but the acting chops of Miles Teller and even the special effects that bring the Thing to life, combined of course with the voice and face expression of Jamie Bell, make this special nevertheless. The Human Torch and Invisible Girl fell flat in comparison, but the biggest problems of the movie from this point onwards are its structure and overused tropes. There's another time lapse, and what was so far in the background is now the focus. The military and its dumb attentions to abuse the powers of the superheroes. Yeah, we've been there before and I personally never liked it. The characters can't really shine anymore, and there's way too little time to develop Dr. Doom as a proper villain and to do him justice. I doesn't want to spoil the ending, but let me just say this. When the finale starts, you will be like, oh my god, yeah, this must be it, please let it be exciting. When Doom is coming, it gets intense again, but it's rather short and not really rewarding. Also, the scenery is very dreary and not a lot of fun to look at, especially when you compare it to this year's blockbusters like Mad Max, Jurassic World or Ant-Man. At least they decided to drop the converted 3D a few weeks prior to release, otherwise I think it would have even looked more colorless. And I know this will sound really harsh, but when you think about it in the end, Fantastic Four has not a single memorable and exciting action scene. So in regard to the strong beginning, I would say Josh Trank's movie is slightly above average because it doesn't live up to its potential. It wastes its great character interactions for overused military tropes, and it's really not a pretty movie to look at. The horror and sci-fi elements have their charm, but in the end there's not a lot of fun there.